Hi there, and welcome to a tour of Royal Caribbean's Oasis of the Seas, an Oasis class ship, and it's a great one. We're going to start the tour here on deck 16. Looking up the stairs towards deck 17, you're going to find your suite category, your higher level suite category suites up there. There's also going to be the coastal kitchen, which is for suite guests and is complimentary specialty dining for those guests staying in the suite categories. There's also the suite lounge up there. Now looking over to the right here is the Windjammer Buffet. The Windjammer is on both sides of deck 16. It's a buffet on the ship and it is open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And there's two sides to the buffet. They're both the exact same. They may only open up one side of the buffet if there is not as many folks and it's not as crowded. Coming up here on the left is going to be Splashaway Bay Aqua Park, which is the water park on board the ship for the pint size set. Lots of different slides, water cannons, fountains, pools, and whirlpools for the little ones to enjoy. And you can also get drenched by the drench buckets that are periodically dumping gallons of water on them below. There's plenty of seating up here on this deck, as well as the lime and coconut bar. There are a couple of different locations on this deck and the next deck below for the lime and coconut bar. The lime and coconut is a Caribbean themed amplification for the pool deck and provides a number of different areas where you can grab festive Caribbean drinks and beer and wine and a full bar of selections for your drinking pleasure. Coming up here, we're overlooking the pool on the next deck down, as well as the Perfect Storm, which is the collection of water slides on board Oasis of the Seas. Two of the slides are racing slides, and the third slide is a supercell, which features a champagne bowl where riders circle around and around and around, and eventually coming out the bottom and splashing down at the pool. Now looking up ahead, up the stairs here, we have an area, a sun deck that is limited to passengers who are Sky Class, Star Class, and suite guests have their own little private area for sunbathing. We're now coming up on the Solarium in the forward area of the ship. The Solarium spans a couple of different decks, and there are steps up and down the front end as well as the entrances on multiple decks. The bar area is located up top here and offers a full variety of selections, including those Caribbean drinks you may be looking for. There's plenty of seating. This area is restricted for adults ages 16 and above. Younger kids can walk through the area, but are encouraged to continue on through and leave the area to the adults. There's a pool, there are multiple whirlpools down here, and quite a few good cushioned seats and some great views off the front bow of the ship. The Solarium is an indoor-outdoor space, and it is covered, so it's a little bit warmer than some of the rest of the ship, but it does provide some nice cover when it's maybe drizzling just a little bit, but it does get quite warm in the Solarium. When it's getting a little bit too noisy in the main pool areas of the ship, it's nice to come to the Solarium and have a quiet place to kind of hang out and chill, read, listen to some music on your earbuds, and just enjoy a little quiet, relaxing time in the Solarium. Also in the Solarium is the Solarium Bistro, which features breakfast and dinner, and it's kind of like a mini buffet, a smaller version of the Windjammer for breakfast. And for dinner, you actually can order some entrees and then have a buffet selection of appetizers and desserts that are available for you to eat. It's a nice place to visit that's a little bit less crowded than some of the other restaurants on board. It's a good place to go when you first embark on the ship, if you're up for trying something that's going to be a little bit quieter. As we exit the solarium on deck 15, we swing over by the whirlpool. This is one of two whirlpools on deck 15 that kind of hangs over the edge of the ship. You get some nice views looking down the side of the ship if you're up against the edge of the whirlpool. There's some TVs in here that sometimes may be showing a sporting event or something like that in the evenings. But you'll also find that sometimes some of the crew will come over and offer drinks if you got one of the packages. Moving further along deck 15, you come to the entrance for the water slides is going to be over here on the left. The exit for the water slides is right here. You're also going to be seeing the sports pool and the beach pool that are on deck 15. And then we come back to another lime and coconut bar. There are a couple of them on this deck as well as the one that we already passed up above on deck 16. There's seating areas to the right. The kids' Splashaway Bay area is off to the left that we're looking here. And if you look just above in that curved glass window area is going to be the Suite Lounge and the Coastal Kitchen, which are for suite guests. Exclusive access for them for specialty dining. And now we come up to the Paddy diving excursion desk, which allows passengers to become certified divers or take excursions in various ports of call that Royal Caribbean stops at. Now coming up here on the left is Portside Barbecue. It's one of the newest additions to the Oasis of the Seas with a recent amplification, and it's a great barbecue. Everything from burnt ends to Texas beef brisket, chicken wings, fries, coleslaw, just about everything you'd want in a barbecue joint. It's an additional charge, but it is well worth giving a shot. And if you feel like you want to do something a little different from the buffet or some of the other restaurants, it's a great option to try out during your cruise. Now coming up here towards the aft of Oasis of the Seas is the Oasis Dunes, which is a miniature golf course. Great chance for you to get out and have a little fun on deck with some miniature golf. If you're feeling a little more daring, you may try the zip line, which is 10 decks above the boardwalk area. So it's a short little zip line ride across the boardwalk, but some cool views, and it's something really unique to Royal Caribbean ships. That's complimentary and just subject to the weather, and it's a great thing to try on sea days. And as we head up the stairs here on the right is one of the two Flowrider surfing simulators on the ship. You can do the stand-up version or the boogie board version. We're looking at the Abyss dry slide. You can slide all the way down to deck 6 and exit at the boardwalk. It's a pretty good ride. The wipeout bar here sits between both of the flow riders and is great for grabbing a drink, whether you want to look out the aft view of the ship or if you just want to watch some of the flow riding activity going on. The flow riders are complimentary, though for a nominal fee you can get private lessons and see if you can improve your skills. The aft section here is great for views while the ship is underway or even passing through one of the many ports of call on the ship. And as we come back down the side of the ship again, on the left side is going to be the sports court, which include basketball, and they also will hold things like exercise classes or dance classes out here as well during the day. You might even find a game or two of pickleball going on. As we head back inside the ship on deck 15, we'll encounter the arcade. The arcade is home to quite a few different games, including skee ball, video games, games of chance, and even a little air hockey. definitely some fun things for the kids to do if they're looking for something a little different, want to get their video game on. The prices generally range from about 75 cents a game to up to $2.50 per game, depending on which game is being played. Exiting the arcade, we will pass by Unboxed, which is a small little cubby area kind of with sundries items that you might need, as well as charging stations for your electronic devices. We'll now pass the Splashaway Bay on deck 15, which is again the kids area, as well as come up on the starboard side location for the lime and coconut bar. Plenty of seating around here, and it's very close access to the pools. Full array of bar options, as well as your favorite Caribbean drinks. Now, dropping down to deck 14 is Adventure Ocean, which is going to be the kids area, and they've got different groups ranging from babies and toddlers to teens. The teens have their own lounge and outdoor space as well. But here then in the Adventure Ocean area, they've got lots of crafts, activities, play areas, technology, lots of things that kids will enjoy. It's very colorful, lots of active things scheduled throughout the day. Dropping down to deck 8, we have the music hall, which actually has entrances on decks 9 and 8. There's an upper level. The main stage is on deck 8, and you can catch musical acts, as well as a number of game shows will be held in there throughout the cruise. Now we're heading out past the elevators to Central Park. Central Park is a beautiful green space area on Oasis of the Seas. Central Park is a fantastic green space on board the ship with more than 10,000 live plants and trees dotting the landscape. There are winding paths through here, and at night there's usually some live music, which could be a classical guitarist or a small quartet playing. Now, coming up on the left is Chops Grill, one of 3 specialty restaurants in the Central Park area. Chops Grill features steaks and some really great desserts too. Highly recommended dining. To the right here, we're looking at the Rising Tide, which is the floating bar that floats between decks 5 and 8 and rises up and down pretty regularly, and it gives you a nice little change of scenery. Looking on the other side, opposite Chops, on the starboard side of the ship, is going to be 150 Central Park. This is probably the most upscale of the specialty dining on the ship, and is a very good place if you want a romantic dinner. As we wind our way through Central Park, here is the Trellis Bar, which is a great spot for grabbing a drink during the day, and it's even nicer at night when the music's going on and you've got a nice quiet evening here on Central Park. It's a really beautiful place to spend the evening if you're looking for something a little quieter or just want to spend some time outside. Now we're coming up on the Park Cafe. Park Cafe is a complimentary establishment on Deck 8 Central Park with some delicious roast beef sandwiches, an array of salads. It's open for breakfast and lunch up until usually about 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Giovanni'S is the specialty restaurant, the Italian specialty restaurant on board Oasis of the Seas. Has great views of the musicians out here, and it's if you're able to sit outside in the evening on a pleasant evening, it's a nice place to eat dinner outside and listen to the music. Central Park is one of my favorite spots on the ship. And you can also stop by Vintages, one of the other bars on this Central Park area on Deck 8. A choice of a variety of different wines. It's a very quiet bar. It's a very tranquil place to spend time during your cruise. There's also some duty-free shops over here on Central Park, as well as the Central Park Ship's Library is actually right in this area. We've now dropped down to Deck 6 and we'll visit the Vitality at Sea Spa. This is the spa on board the ship. And right up here at the front on the right is the Vitality Cafe, which includes healthier foods such as wraps and salads and things like that. Juices and smoothies are available, and they are complimentary with your deluxe or refreshment drink package. They will cost something if you do not have one of the drink packages. The spa allows for pedicures, manicures, barbers services, hair salon treatments, thermal spa. Lots of these are available. You can find a list of what's available once you board the ship, or before you go on your cruise. You should be able to find a small list of what's available in the cruise planner. Now heading a little further down the hallway here, we have the fitness center. The fitness center is usually open around 6 or 7 a.m. until the evening, and has treadmills, bikes, recumbent bikes, ellipticals, all sorts of different machines. If you're lucky, you can get one with a view outside the ship. Lots of weights and strength items, and there's also sometimes a yoga class or some sort of a fitness class that's offered. Now we drop down to Deck 5, and we're going to be walking through the Royal Promenade, which is one of the big social hubs on the ship. There's lots of shops, restaurants, and some of the different bars and clubs are on this level. The Spotlight Karaoke's, where you can find most of the karaoke performances and shows that are going on throughout the ship. Starbucks is available here with all the premium drinks you might like from Starbucks. Bolero's is the Latin club, featuring live music most evenings with dancing and a bar inside there. The next, actually the shop there is for cruise souvenirs, and there's also some of the duty-free shops for brands and things you might like to purchase when the ship is underway. Now coming up a little bit here on the left is going to be Sorrento's, the pizza place on the ship. That's open for lunch a little bit before 12. I think it opens around 11 most days, and usually open late into the evening until 2 a.m. That's going to be your late night snack spot. The Globe and Atlas is an English pub style bar. Usually has live music during the afternoons and definitely every night. Coming up ahead is Cafe Promenade, which has all sorts of sandwiches, cookies, little bites of fruit and cakes and things like that. Small snacks that you can get throughout the day. Those are all mostly complimentary. There are some specialty coffees that are available here that you can get with your refreshment or drinking package. Most of the food available here is pretty good, and there's a lot of different options for a quick bite, quick snack, or something light in the morning before you go off on one of your excursions or enjoy a day on the ship. And directly next to the Cafe Promenade is Guest Services, where you can get questions answered, talk to guest services about any issues you have with your bills. Hopefully you don't have to visit that one very much at all. Now directly across and just on the other side of the Rising Tide floating bar is the Bionic Bar, where you can have robotic bartenders create drinks. They have a wide variety of selections on the menu. You order through tablets and scan your CPass card, The robots will make the drinks and then send the drink to you at the end of the platform. And as we head further aft, we're going to come up on the dining room. The dining room is actually on 3 levels, decks 3, 4, and 5. And where you are depends on what seating time you're booking, what you're assigned, or if you're doing my time dining. Coming back up a little bit, we go one step above the Bionic Bar. On deck 6 is Focus and the Shore Excursions, where you can book your excursions for any of the ports of call, as well as check out the photos you may have had taken while on board the ship. And then across the way is Next Cruise, where you can book another cruise for a future sailing. Usually there are some discounts offered for doing that, or an onboard credit. Now to the right of that and directly across from Focus is the Schooner Bar. There's usually piano music in here every evening. There's often trivia games that are played here during the day, and there is a bar in the back there. Looks like here the rising tide is up at deck 6. But it'll be going up and down throughout the cruise. And as we head further aft on deck 6, we're going to be encountering the Boardwalk, which is yet another one of the neighborhoods on Royal Caribbean's Oasis of the Seas. The Boardwalk, heading back to the aft of deck 6, is another neighborhood styled after a seaside resort. It has games, eateries, and entertainment venues back here, including some of these games here that are at the back of Playmakers, which is a sports bar. Looking over here to the left is the Boardwalk Dog House, featuring sausages, brats, and hot dogs of various types with condiments and all the fixings. There's an actual carousel here on the ship. That is complimentary. And that is usually going to be running during the afternoon, maybe the very early evening. Sugar Beach is where you can find lots of candy and ice cream that for an additional charge. There's also an ice cream window there. And coming up here on the right is, as I mentioned, Playmakers, which is the sports bar. You no longer have to worry about finding out what happened in the game that you might have missed. There's going to be lots of football, baseball, soccer, and sporting action going on here. There is food available here for an upcharge. It does cost a little bit extra for Playmakers, but there are lots of good things to try, as well as a full bar. Across the way is Johnny Rockets. Johnny Rockets available for a cover charge, and then you can eat pretty much anything you want after that. However, breakfast is available complimentary here each day. So it's definitely a really good spot to head if you want a breakfast, and it's a little bit quieter and getting something a little bit different. This is the bottom of the Abyss slide that came all the way from up by deck 15, or deck 16 actually. And then right behind the Abyss we have the Aqua Theater, which is going to be where the aqua shows are put on a couple of times during the cruise. They also show some movies here occasionally during the cruise. You may find movies that are available on deck, and this is going to be a place where you can view those. Now, as we pan over, you can see the climbing walls. There are 2 climbing walls, one on each side of this ship, port and starboard. And throughout the cruise, especially on sea days, it'll be quite busy. You can line up and take your chance to climb up the cruise walls. Now we look back here. This is going to be deck 3's dining room, I believe. And this is one of the main dining rooms that are available. Actually, this looks like it's deck 4. So this is where you can order your meals every night, whether you're getting early seating, late seating, or my time dining. And continuing on in deck 4 and heading forward on the ship, we'll enter the ship's casino. It's closed right here because the ship was in port at this time. But when the ship is at sea, there are table games, video poker, slots, many other different types of games available here for the adults who want to have a little fun with a little gambling on the ship during the cruise. Exiting the casino, we are now entering the art gallery, and the art gallery is where you're going to be able to purchase various pieces of art through auctions during your cruise, or if you just want to take a quiet walk here and check out some of the art on the walls, you can do that too. As we head through the hallway up towards the bow of the ship, we're going to be coming up on Studio B to the right, which is the ice rink on the ship. Studio B is a really unique venue on the ship, and you can catch a couple of different shows. There is a main themed show on the ship, as well as an ice skate, which is basically the performers doing some of their favorite particular routines to some of the music they really like to skate around to. You can also free skate, as some of these folks are doing here. There are times during the day when you'll be able to schedule a little bit of skating time, which is pretty unique aboard the ship. Now, across from Studio B is Blaze, which is the comedy venue, and also used as an occasional gaming venue for certain things. You might find something like a silent disco here, or one of the games like Majority Rules, but the comedians primarily are going to be operating out of Blaze when they're not in the Royal Theater. And across and just around the corner from Blaze and Studio B is Jazz on 4, which is going to be the jazz club, jazz venue with live performances here nightly, as well as a full bar. And lastly, as we head forward to the bow of the ship, the Royal Theater, which is on deck 4 and deck 5 with entrances there. Scale up. It's a big ship. It's a beautiful ship. And on the Royal Theater, you're going to find a lot of productions. Currently, Cats is the big Broadway production, but you'll find headliners, comedy acts, musical acts, and a lot of interesting and fun shows in the Royal Theater. Head back up to the Royal Promenade. This has been a tour of Oasis of the Seas, an Oasis class ship of Royal Caribbean. It's a beautiful ship. There's a lot of options of things to do and things to see, places to eat, a lot of different things you can do, and it's a great time. The ship itself is an attraction in addition to any of the ports you may be accessing. You're also going to find the jogging track out here. So this has been a tour of the Oasis of the Seas. If you're going on a cruise on Oasis, you're going to have a great time. It's a beautiful ship. There's certainly no shortage of things to do, and hope you have a good time. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment, share, tell all your friends, and remember, kids, have a good time all the time.